There's a new Assassin's Creed game coming out. Woo! Apparently it's about Syndicate. What's the story, guys? You guys had a crazy live stream this morning.
Yeah, we did.
Assassin's Creed, Syndicate. They renamed it. It's in London. It's 1868, which I can remember because you just swap the order 1886 and the last two digits and you're done. Tell us everything you guys know about what Ubisoft announced this morning.
So I actually went to Canada to see it last week.
Canada?
And yeah.
Tetsuo.
And it's very different. They redid stealth, so now it's not cover-based. You're not sneaking in bushes. You're not blending into crowds. You're just out there doing more modern stealth. You're crouching, using darts, whistling, distracting people. They didn't redo combat, but they changed combat. It's now close quarters focused because you're in London and you're in gang fights, so you want to get your enemy super up close and punch them out and stuff. And it's just generally very different from, I think, what we've seen so far in the past couple of years.
I have a question about the stealth real quick.
Yes.
So is it like, you know how in Assassin's Creed you hold down the trigger and then you're in like free run parkour mode where you just jump over anything that happens to be in your way? In the stealth, is it a similar where you're in stealth mode, and so you'll crouch into anything that you happen to pass? Like, is it a state that you kind of trigger, or do you still have to like maneuver yourself into stealthy positions?
You can maneuver yourself into stealth in that, and let me know if this is answering your question. Instead of like having a hard snap onto cover, like you're walking and you're like, I walk into a bush and I'm in stealth and that's done.
Okay.
You'll be pressing a button to crouch down and sneak or stand up and run away.
Okay.
So it's less focused on I'm going into things and I automatically go into stealth. You put yourself into stealth.
Yeah, he's also got a sick rope.
Rope launcher.
So this is their
it.
answer to people are getting increasingly bored of climbing up buildings.
It's very
Before
Batman.
it was you can go faster. Now it's just shoot a rope and you're up there, no problem.
Yeah, no, it's very Batman. I like it because, like where he was just standing, you can shoot that to anywhere else on the building in front of you, and you can zip line across or tightrope your way across, and it turns all of the airspace in London into aerial assassination territory.
Right.
So you could sneak in, shoot down, kill someone, and then turn around, throw your rope launcher up a building, and just zip right out of there, which is pretty cool.
So in the hands-off demo that you had, did they give any sort of inclination as to like the scale of London? They said it's like 7 different boroughs or something.
It's 7 boroughs. It's very big. We were running around sort of this same area, which it took a while to get from one end where we were to where the gang fight was that we wanted to end up. So it seems pretty big. Pretty big.
Did it feel big?
It felt big.
You're running around in carriages. They've gone like Grand Theft Auto style.
Those carriages make the world feel big. I know you saw in the demo they had them crashing and careening off each other, and like the cart takes damage and people react. Like as you're riding, you can see the people as you're approaching just being like, oh my god, like there's something going on here. You can actually fight on top of them. Like if you climb on one that's moving, you can stand on top of it and then jump on to another one and fight someone on it.
Look, look at that lady.
It's awesome.
The amount of collateral damage happening here is just frankly outrageous.
And as
It's
we
very
all
GTA.
know, horses knock over lamps
Oh, yeah.
when they
Time.
run into them. Street lamps are no obstacle for the
Look at that guy.
hard head of a horse.
Well, they bred them differently back then,
Yeah,
Kevin. You know,
exactly.
they bred the huge battle ones for the gestures for fighting, and then they built the iron-headed
this still
ones
happens.
for urban
I lived
destruction.
there for a number of years. This stuff happens all the time.
Whole municipal departments devoted
To cleaning up horse corpses. Let's get into the
This is what
sort of
happens when you let
granularity
Boris
a
be
little
in
bit.
charge, I guess.
Let's get into the granularity a little bit. Multiplayer.
Multiplayer, nope.
Gone.
Nope, they told me they want to focus on they being Ubisoft Quebec, told me they want to focus on that single player experience. And the thing with the systemic vehicles and the way that they have the AI reacting and the way that they would want you to be able to use those vehicles anytime, anywhere, having that married to the fidelity of your online connection, it would have been too hard, it would have been a little weird, so they just nixed it.
Yeah. Also, did anyone here on the couch enjoy Assassin's Creed multiplayer ever?
Yes.
You liked it?
Not. I mean, are you kidding? Like that was actually pretty special when it was first introduced in Brotherhood. So the competitive play, I actually felt it was very similar if you've played The Ship on Steam or something like that. Like it actually was very interesting. It was like, and it actually had a really big fan base too. People that really liked that, and I was one of those people. Like, you know, it was slow, it was steady. And then there were these moments where everything just exploded, and then it was slow and steady, intense, and so it was very different. If you wanted like a bunch of action, it really wasn't quite. What
I
you
agree.
wanted.
I thought it was really cool, but it's also like holds up way worse than even the single-player campaigns do to yearly iteration. Like,
Yeah,
you know, the
totally.
same multiplayer mode over and over again, just in a new city, is not going to feel substantially different, whereas a single-player campaign can.
And they tried. They introduced
Yeah.
new modes and stuff over time, and I don't know, like talking about yearly multiplayer. Like I don't know if Call of Duty manages somehow. So
True enough.
Just
you
about.
know, maybe it's okay with Assassin's Creed. But I'm actually glad. I mean, it wasn't what people went to Assassin's Creed for. So you know, focus on it.
Totally.
You know, do your thing.
Animus stuff.
They said yes, but they're not talking about it yet.
Great.
That's always the way.
There's
Always
not
the
going to
way
be
with it.
animus
They're not
stuff in an
talking
Assassin's
about
Creed
it
game.
yet.
Of course there is.
There will be some sort of modern-y thing happening.
They've done some interesting
So,
stuff
yeah.
with Animus
They
stuff.
always
I
wait.
guess.
It's a growing narrative. It'll be there.
Oh, I just feel like it's being weighed down by so much. Like I feel like this series is just like part of this one. When I saw the trailer, was like, oh, Templars in London, yeah. Like, why does this have to be about Templars and Assassins? Why do we have to keep shoehorning all this stuff into every friggin' like piece of history? It just I don't
My
know.
question is, why do we have to keep shoehorning a major Assassin's Creed release into every
Every year?
fall? I don't know. It just like, I don't know.
Burn
Had to be said. Had to be the curmudgeon.
So to come to Ubisoft's defense, the studio working on Syndicate is Quebec. Typically,
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Assassin's Creed. Yeah, that's right. We can't just call it Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
Syndicate is being worked on in Quebec. Typically, the games are helmed by the Montreal studio.
Yes.
Quebec studio has been working on this game for almost 3 years. It could have come out next year. It could have come out last year. It's just sort of how things fell out. I honestly think giving it to the new studio. They've worked on Assassin's Creeds before. They did Brotherhood. They did the Freedom Cry DLC. They did the Tyranny of King Washington DLC for Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
I think that giving the direction to a new studio, I think will add a little bit of freshness to the series.
So
I'm optimistic.
one of the pieces of freshness is that there are only 2 playable characters.
Yes, there are.
So explain this. This is a sibling situation we're talking about.
They're twins,
Okay.
Jacob and Evie Frye, born outside of London. So when they come to London, you as
Brighton.
the player experience London for the first time alongside them.
Great.
Evie is the first playable female assassin in a main game that isn't a spin-off. We had Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation.
Yeah, that was great.
Where we had, that was great. Where we had Aveline, but it came out on Vita, and the Vita at the time was not doing so hot.
That's true.
They did remaster it for console, and then we have Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, which came out recently, which has Xiao Jun. However, she is our first big main line Assassin's Creed playable female character.
I didn't even realize because they put out a trailer for, is it Jacob?
Jacob.
His name? Yeah, they put out a trailer for him showing him beating 7
Yeah,
shades out of
badass.
people.
I've been told that we'll see more of her later this year. She'll be getting her own sort of push. Also in Syndicate, you have a lot of female enemies. Like I noticed if you're running through the streets and you're targeting people or you're on a mission, a lot of the regular Joes that you encounter are regular Janes. You have a lot of women that you have to either kill to get through or turn on each other or sort of mow down, I guess. This is Bloody Nora. Who,
I can't believe they called somebody Bloody Nora.
Yep, Bloody
They're turning
Nora.
Cockney rhyming slang into actual people.
What does that
Nora.
stand
Yeah,
for?
what does it stand
What does that
for?
mean?
Bloody Nora?
Yeah.
It's just like an expletive to like oh Bloody Nora.
Oh, it is. Okay.
God damn it.
Because
no way.
I thought Nora would probably. I thought it would actually
Look,
be.
there's another one.
I think it's a
a
misnomer that it actually is anyone. Because
Oh, okay.
yeah, because
Because most Cockney rhyming slang is just like this actually means something else. It's
Yeah.
just there's a couple steps.
yeah, I don't know how it got
connect
to
them.
that, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
I like it though.
Thank you for letting me derail.
No worries.
I like that you're not just it's not you as a guy and everyone you're going against is a guy. The thing about 1868 London, Victorian London, Industrial Revolution London is a lot of women didn't have jobs, they couldn't vote, they couldn't do much of anything. So a lot of them turned to organized crime. They found their place in the seedy underbelly of London. So you have these women crime lords with these hordes of people that are doing their bidding, and then you have the other women falling in with them. So I really like that they're not shying away from the whole, violence against people in video games and women in video games has
Yes.
been a thing, but I like that this game is not shying away from it because it's true to history and it's true to life.
And they've been criticized of shying away from it in the past, especially
yeah.
we saw with Unity as well.
I'm very
Underbelly.
glad to see that.
Yeah. Any other footnotes on Assassin's Creed Syndicate? Anything we didn't talk about today?
Excellent footnotes. They're already talking about the historical characters we'll see. We already have Charles Dickens.
Great.
And Charles Darwin.
Gotta kill me some Dickens. Darwin as well?
Darwin.
Yeah.
Darwin as well. And they say that there's going to be a lot more because they're bringing Assassin's Creed to technically the modern era by bringing it into the Industrial Revolution. So we're going to see a lot of stuff that is more relevant to us today than we would find in the Renaissance.
And more guns, presumably.
Yes.
We saw in that scene with the siblings, like a girl come and inform them. She was like giving them the little info. I hope one of your side activities is recruit gang of orphans to steal money to help you and also get secrets to help you out.
Well, I mean, you have Charles Dickens, who in Oliver
That's
stuff.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Give me.
Oliver
Hey,
mission.
that's weird. You get Charles Dickens to become Shylock to then like collect like art becoming like that's a weird minigame maybe.
I would totally play
Perhaps.
that.
They
It was
rip out
almost
that
a
tower
given.
defense stuff and they'll put in this orphan gang management simulator.
Orphan husbandry.
It was almost a given, though, right? If Dickens is in the game, we're gonna have little orphans,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was refreshing to see a child character that didn't look like some weird, short, deformed adult.
Can you kill them?
So
Oh, I don't know.
When are we
Are you
getting
gonna
the
get-
first
'cause that's-
playable child protagonist in the Assassin's Creed series?
First killable
It's not enough
child.
for you. Nothing is enough for
No,
you.
I want
Bridgewater.
more.
Nothing is
First playable child protagonist.